One of them is so legendary, the viral one with R. Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's crazy about that? And I would love for you to tell the story.
Yeah.
Did they not know you were going to ask that question? Because when you asked that question, your question was so perfectly timed, and then your response to his response. Take people through.
It's a yes and no. The answer to that is yes and no.
Yeah. How'd that happen? Who set that up?
BET. R. Kelly had just come off of, I believe it was sexual assault trial, because it was alleged that that what we saw of him urinating on a woman who looked very, very young turned out to be a woman who was very, very young. BET set up an interview where I would talk to him in a Chicago hotel, and we would talk about all these sorts of things. And we had to submit our questions. I didn't tell them everything I wanted to ask. And honestly, so much is in the details. And you'll see in this story that one word can make the difference between a good question and a less effective question, or even a bad question. And in the beginning of the interview, he was kind of being squirrely. And when I was asking him about underage girls, he was kind of driving toward 14 and 13-year-olds. And I'm like, and kind of saying, like, I don't do that. So it's kind of like, I see you trying to evade by going around the group of women I'm clearly talking about. So he had a crisis manager there, right? This some fucking white guy in an expensive suit, whatever, older guy. And I say to him, and this was like, you know, the first of a trio of questions that were to really get at, did you do this thing that the prosecutors alleged you did? And I assumed he would say no, but perhaps within the no, we would be able to see the real answer. So I say to him, do you like underage girls? And his crisis manager jumped up and was like, no, you can't ask that. No, stop. And R. Kelly says, no, I want to answer this. And the guy says, okay, great. Client is happy. Here we go. But this time, because it was kind of rolling around in my head like, underage is not specific enough. And I said, and you can see it on the thing that I start to say, but then I say, do you like teenage girls? Which broadened the group, right? Because underage, he can define as he wants, but teenage...
Sure, after you get past it.
You cannot be more specific than teenage.
Yeah.
And so then that's when he said, what do you mean? Teenage. Like, what? And that's when I was like, what the fuck are you talking? And I'm like, this is question one. This is the softball.
How did you keep your composure?
Well, that was part of the thing, right? This was the softball that was going to get to something a little harder, that was going to get to something that would be like hard S, and not like super hard to where his people were like, yeah, you can't ask that. But so I saw a cat burglar sort of element here or mission here, right? I couldn't let him see that he was hanging himself because he's never going to go, yeah, I like 15-year-old girls, but can we get you to say that without saying that? And when I said, do you like teenage girls? And he said, what do you mean by teenage? I was kind of like, what the fuck are you doing? And I definitely said to myself, don't let him see that he just said some crazy shit. I failed in that mission because people came up to me on every block. Yo, your face in the R. Kelly interview. Yo, it was about 2 years of like every single day somebody said, yo, your face in the R. Kelly interview. And, you know, that week I thought that was going to get cut out of the interview. So when I finished the interview, which did not end pleasantly, because later on I said, can you promise your fans that this will never happen again? And he said, yes, this interview will never happen again. And look real. And
so he left.
No, he didn't like leave, but like we finished and we both like usually you do like an hour-long interview, you shake hands, maybe you hug if you really like went there, but like it was definitely like I go my way, you go your way, because he was not happy with the whole interview, and I thought that the core moment was going to get cut out. So I went in the bathroom and I fucking freaked out because I'm like, you let him get off. You let him get away. You're part of the whole fucking apparatus that lets him get away because the core moment will not be in the fucking show.
How did it wind up staying in there?
You know, I was not in the editing room. I was not at that level at BET. I was one of the top level hosts, but I wasn't so big that I could be in the editing room talking about it. So I just laid back. I didn't say anything. And the episode came out and it was in there. And I remember being at home like, holy shit, they aired it. Oh my God, I can't believe they aired that. And
did he flip out or his team?
He flipped out. They called the next day and they said, if you air it again, we'll sue you.
Well, are they able to do that?
Well, yeah, I was friends with the president, Reggie Hudlin. I was like, dude, what are they going to sue us over? On what grounds? We aired an interview that he willingly sat for. What is the... No. Excuse me. Re-air, because we already aired it. Like, why? What?
Plus, it's the internet. They already ripped that and it's taken all over the place.
Well, it's crazy because, you know, the internet never forgets, but that interview is not on the internet.
Really?
That piece that we talked about is on the internet in different ways, but the rest of it is lost. And I don't know where it is in my house. Illuminati.
You know...